I'm interested to see how they're going to fare against the first attack of one pump here. Zap, can you take it off? Can you start this match again?
Gladly. So it is going to be one pump or two pump on the attack, starting on a taunt on A up against the team we yet to see in BUF.
One pump actually losing Frosty right there, but he's back just in the nick of time. As we're counting down for this round to start. Let's see how one pump advances in their first attack phase. They're splitting up two people to the far left and taking a pause into running on the far right side. Coordinating their attacks a little bit more.
Sending one player, two players to the other end, and taking a more methodical approach up the far right side. BUF with a pretty even spread right now. Having players spread reasonably evenly throughout the trench. Opening kills pretty even between the two teams, building up a nice couple frags to start the match.
Most of the kills go in favor of BUF right now, and Nord is tasked with securing the left-hand side of the Germans, and actually doing a great job at that. Most of the kills are actually going in favor of BUF right now. Solid-looking defense on the first few seconds of this match.
Definitely. But one is working their way up. Both sides slowly, however. We see an approach a little bit similar to what PDU was doing. The kills are going most of the way of BUF, but one pump still continues to advance.
I really don't like the positioning of the squad of Sheena right here, because they
Emperor
are walking
and Tom,
into...
looks like Emperor and Amando and Tom and Emperor are able to gain entry into this far left side, and they're going to get some nice flanking shots, crossfire into this other side of the trench. Emperor with a couple of kills, 3 kills actually for Emperor. Except for him, can he find the 4? If he can, he's looking for 5.
Tom Grump steals that last one away from him, but very good show right there by Emperor.
Mando and Model Leader also pushing the other side simultaneously. Really nice split push coming in here from one pump. This should be an opening cap for them.
It's a very...
Can the spawns come in for BUF? No, they cannot. Some of them did, but... yeah, some of them did, so they at least have some players spawn close to the trench, but they're being picked off very fast by Ajax and Lukehouse.
They do. BUF does have some success on the right-hand side now, getting actually into the right-hand side in the forest, as Revenant is waiting for his mates to spawn in again. But
Revenant holding for the spawns. He's going to look to make a move, but he's spotted from middle. This is interesting to note. This middle position that Frosty occupies here is a very strong position. You've got a really powerful crossfire. It's very difficult to deal with for any CD players pushing into this side, and just get taken out by Billy. Good kill by him, and BUF is able to clear out this far right side. Battleship's going to hold for the spawn.
The spawn gets going, and
good stuff by BUF to deal with a dangerous position, but a really big spawn coming in the no man's land for one pump. See how BUF can react to that. It looks like they're doing very effectively against it. I mean, all the kills going the way right now.
Most of the players of BUF also spawned on the far right side here, so BUF is lucky with that spawn and being able to easily defend the right-hand side.
The cap was at 99. Yeah, finally comes in. It was very close there for a second. Wasn't sure if they were going to get it.
I really like the first approach the methodical approach by one pump, securing the trench, just sneaking forward, and then a very aggressive push, killing almost everyone on the left-hand side with Tom Grump and Emperor. Good stuff, good team play by one pump there. Let's see if they can do it again.
I mean, I do agree with that.
Tom Grump already really close, killing 2 people quickly together with his squad mate Mendo. Tom Grump just charging forward, killing a few people, not able to kill Sir Pools right here, and that takes a little bit of the power out of
Pools is the only player left in the trench for BUF, so I don't know if he'll be able to get spawns. He definitely can't get spawns when the airplane bomb kills him. Rasputin is jumping into the trench, looking to find a kill. Can't quite get it, but there's still a few more BUF players there with him. Very effective counterfire from 2-pump to deal with the respawns. Looks like it's going to be just... Battleship does get spawns.
Frosty and Lukehouse actually killing a lot of people.
Lukehouse and Frosty, really nice. 4 kills from Lukehouse there. Looks like Tom is going to go for a flank in the no man's land. See, this is what we didn't really see yesterday from from One Pump on this map, so maybe they've learned utilizing the no man's land a lot more. We can see Emperor is also very close here. He finds 1 kill on the Billy, and it looks like Tom Grump is also coming to support him.
Almost all the kills going in favor of One Pump here, as Emperor and Tom Grump are just pushing into the forest right now, as they just took the trench again. So we're watching BUF right now, trying
Revenant
to...
is the only player in the trench right now. He's trying to go to the opposite flank. Looks like he's gonna be able to do that. So One Pump and BUF kind of trading positions a little bit.
It's one
Looks
big
it's
back and forward.
Just Emperor. He's getting pushed. He is able to maintain his position. That was a big kill, but there's 2 more players there for BUF.
Nord actually trying to spawn in his mates, three of his squad mates, and he needs to kill this guy behind him, but he gets killed by overwhelming force by 2 Pump right there. Very good defense by 2 Pump to
and
not...
it's just Pools left in the trench right now, and Mod Leader's gonna push him. But the spawns do come, the spawns will come in. Good kill there from Pools to ensure that he gets the spawns and keeps his attack going for BUF. The push is coming in for 2 Pump.
Sheena actually getting a very good flank right there, stabbing and getting 2 people of BUF, trying to kill the last guy, but there's a trade potential right here, and Lucas is able to kill Sir Pools, actually resetting that whole squad. Very important kills by Lucas and his squad mate there.
Yeah, I mean, that was definitely, Pools did everything he could, but he just gets overwhelmed, and now BUF is completely reset here. They're stuck almost half their team basically in this one crater here on the far left side. This is a very difficult crater to get out of.
A lot of kills are going in favor of BUF there, though. And if they get 2 more kills on the...
2 Pump responding back, though. Current Monoliter getting a couple frags.
Yeah, it looks like One Pump has stabilized a little bit, and it feels like they reset both squads. So this might be a lot easier now for the One Pump to defend this trench.
This can be a very difficult retake once a team gets set up. As I said, some of the crossfires are very powerful, and it can be... It is a very exposed no man's land, so when a team gets comfortable on the defense here, it can be pretty much impossible to retake. And
especially when you're against guys like Tom Grump, he is killing everyone in the no man's land right now. He's on 6 kills just now. He's putting on a show right there. Very good stuff.
I think we have to note that Lukehouse and Ajax subbing in for 2 Pump here, both having pretty good starts of this game, 13 and 12 kills. Obviously Tom and Emperor are leading the way, but still, I mean, it is, I think, part of the difference today for One Pump is some of their players who didn't have great starts yesterday are starting to feel it a little bit more. We've seen better plays from Sheena. We're seeing Lukehouse play well. Monoliter is doing, very well himself. So 2 Pump kind of starting to fire on all cylinders in conjunction
100%.
with their big name players. Really starting to feel it.
You can see that actually in the way Tom Grump pushed that defense marker. Actually, when the moment the marker ran out, he just charged forward, trying to get as quickly as possible to the other side of the no man's land, and trying to defend, well, get a few kills already. But they are feeling it. They are in there, especially Tom Grump. You can see just what you're saying right now. The aggression is in One Pump right now. They want another W, and I don't think they're going to stop before they capture the HQ.
Right. This is a very aggressive push here. Emperor and Ajax getting a bunch of kills. Dope getting taken down there by Mando. The cap starts to come in for One Pump. BUF not really with much of a response to this. This One Pump is in both sides of the trench, and BUF is basically wiped. They only got 1 player, and he does get taken down. So that's going to do it. Cap comes in here for One Pump.
Ajax is looking to secure the middle section right now, but he gets taken down by... I don't know, and by Emperor, and it is the Central Powers are completely on the back foot right now. Everything is going in favor of 2 Pump, and I don't think BUF. Almost everyone of BUF is just a negative kill death ratio right now. They're falling apart.
Yeah, Manny and Nord are at the top of the scoreboard, but I mean, they pale in comparison to what Emperor and Tom are putting up. And again, as I said, we look at the scores. Lukehouse, not really the player you'd expect to be on the top, but he's got just as many kills as the top frag for BUF, so you can really see the current dynamic of this game.
A lot of players of BUF right now in the trench though, and if they can turn it around right now, I think they still have a chance to equalize it or even win the game. That's maybe a bridge too far, but BUF is securing finally a little bit of the kills. They are warming up right now, and I do feel like this is the difference of one pump already having one pump extra, warmed up a little bit, and BUF just cold turkey into this match. I think that is the difference, and if they can turn it around right now, it means they are warmed up, and we might not be looking at the end of BUF right now.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it is. Yeah, it's definitely something to consider. Is as the match goes on, you know, BUF might start to get warmed up, and
but saying that every one of BUF just, I believe BUF just got team wiped right there.
They did really nice stuff from one pump. Or does get the kill on the Tom. He's going to push in towards this far right side. And most of his team are here. 4 players in the trench, and they initiate the recap. It's going to be a very this is going to be a hard trench to hold for the Entente when they take it. It's basically going to run into everybody of BUF. Gets taken down there. Another recap's going to definitely come in here for BUF. So, not out of this fight by any means yet. Ajax on this far left side. He's going to find a couple of kills. He's going to look to go for the third. I think his teammate got the player he was looking at. We're in this middle position of the trench. Might try to find some picks on the far right side, which BUF is occupying, but Rasputin with a nice stab shut that down.
But finally stabilizing a little bit in this trench, and it feels like they are focusing on the right sides right now. A lot of people of one pump on the left side approaching for the. Oh, and Toddy is still in. The Emperor actually flanking on the middle side, advancing on the far right side for the Antani right now, having a very good flanking position right now. The Emperor is looking to kill every one of the Sins of Ours right now, but he couldn't land the shots.
He got 4 kills though, so still kills half their team. Good play in him. Probably would have liked to have gotten at least 1 more, but he'll definitely take that. Frosty pushes into the right side, able to be defended by Manny. BUF respawns do come in, so I mean, although I do have to say again, only halfway into this game, and Emperor's already almost at 50 kills. So on Ain, we see the big names come to life, and we're seeing it again. It was Jackie yesterday. Now it looks like it's Emperor today. BUF is doing a very good job in defending this section of the trench, but Mando's going for the flank. He's going to find 1. Can he get more? Yes, he can. He gets 2. Looking for the third. He finds the third. I think there's a player prone in middle who Frosty takes down, so isn't quite a wipe for BUF, but they are in a pretty tough position having players on both sides of them getting killed, trying to fight from 2 directions, and that should be a wipe, I believe.
I don't think they're in the trench anymore.
The cap. Yeah, it is. Or there was 1 player, but he gets taken down. Spawns do come in for BUF on the close right side. Sheena and Monleader here are going to try to do something about it.
Instantly getting called out by Tom Grump right there. Very important position that he is holding right now. He can see all of the no man's land calling out as they spawn in, and that's just a murder hole if you spawn on the close right side for BUF. So that's bad luck for BUF.
Poulos is trying to sneak his way in here. He does find 1 kill. Can he get the second? He's going for the stab. He misses the stab. Bit of a mistake. Probably should have shot that player. Goes for the stab kill, and that results in him getting taken down. It's F's in the chat. That's right. F in the chat indeed.
Jump pump, 2 pump, 1 pump, whatever. Looking very stable in defending this trench right now, and I think they reset both the teams. 2.5 minutes on the attack phase for BUF remaining, and it's a difficult task for them to retake this trench.
And the defense is looking a lot more stable here for one pump right now. We can see they have a nice spread, and BUF is nowhere near the trench at all. Only one player in the no man's land right now.
Many did
spawns coming in middle and right side, so they're going to face a big push here. Fools and it looks like.
Yeah, but still, all the kills are going in favor of one pump right here. I mean, the whole kill feed, the last 8 kills were all one pump. X step for this sap. Sheena trying to defend the far left side, and CP actually takes the left side.
I can force stabs. Revenant is in here. He's going to try to hold for the spawn, but Mando peeks him, misses his first shot, but he actually lands the jump shot, so another player. Pool's still trying to sneak in. He's not the first time he's done that. Looks like Mando's going to try to kill him.
Oh,
but
well done.
somehow messes that up. Good stuff from Pools.
With the
Stay
drone
alive and
tactics
get his
again.
spawns. Sheena gonna get taken down by Rasputin.
It's actually interesting to see how well the prone tactics work against comp matches. The bigger players, the experienced players, don't expect this. So it's actually a viable strategy. Spawning in Rasputin right now, and
it is one of those weird things where, you know, it's kind of like an off angle in a way. It's just an off tactic. You don't expect the player to be prone, and then you peek the angle and he's prone. I do that sometimes, as I know that the players I'm against are not going to accept me to prone, so it can definitely be effective. So BUF is in a tough position right now. They're very isolated. This one part of the trench. They're trying to break out towards the middle. Rasputin here gonna go for the push.
Not sure how Sir Pools got that last kill right there, as he was still reloading, still got a headshot, but interesting stuff. Might have found a new bug in Verdun.
BUF picking up a bunch of kills. Pretty much gonna wipe one pump. And one pump spawning outside the trench. I don't think they're gonna be able to get back in time to block the gap here. They're not gonna be able to. So another recap coming in for BUF. Continue to stay in this game.
Jump Grump instantly going to the middle section, not taking the shot in order not to give his position away. But he doesn't know he doesn't have any bullets in his magazine right there. I think that was a big mistake by Jump Grump right there. I thought he was having trigger control right there, but he didn't have any magazine left. BUF is actually stabilizing a little bit, retaking the trench, but it's looking very difficult for them to equalize this. Every second counts right now for BUF. They need to play it almost perfectly in order to draw it out. And they will have a difficult task, to say the least.
2 players in per team. Sheena gonna go for a flank on the far right side, but the spawns do come in for BUF, which will shut that down. Jackson Emperor in the middle here. Emperor's gonna go for that same middle push he's done several times before now. Able to see anybody. There's a player holding on the far side who doesn't seem like he can spot him.
No, he's lying on the far right side, and you can't see him from there. But he
Spawns
does
do
see
come
the
in.
whole
Emperor
spawn
was holding the angle. It's the angle, then unfortunately they spawn the moment he gives it up. Frosty going for. Yeah, I also really like how every time one pump attacks this trench, we can see that they apply the pressure on the opposite flank in the no man's land. So BUF always holding, looking down the middle, but these no man's flanks keep coming in. Something that we didn't really see them do yesterday, they're doing today, which is working out very well for them. The recap comes in for one pump.
Yeah, good team play by one pump right there. As they are the team that just walked in on the right side is trying to defend it right now, as the spawn is there actually for BUF as well. Get completely defused, I feel like. So this is a rough start for the attacking phase for BUF right now, and I feel like this is the last phase they can actually use to. They need to capture this as quickly as they can in order to still equalize this. So the pressure is on for BUF.
If BUF wants to find a way to tie this game up, they definitely need to get this cap quickly and find a way to defend this trench.
This is looking very strong from North though, and securing the last kill on this on that squad from the Antali. So that's a reset, and he can actually spot this reset in the middle. So he calls that out. Very important stuff by North right there, killing the last guy of the squad and spotting it there, making sure they are able to capture this trench right now. What they didn't need to do right now is hold this for 3 minutes. If they lose it again, that's a disaster, I feel like, for BUF. Then I think the chances of them equalizing it are very, very slim.
Yeah, no, I think if you're BUF, you just need to do everything in your power to hold this trench. Battleship going for the flank on the side. He is going to be able to get Mando. That's a nice kill from Battleship.
I do think the positioning of BUF is a little bit weird right now. They're basically giving away the middle section, but oh, it did get diffused, so no, actually it's looking very stable for BUF. 2-pump completely reset as they have to restart their whole attack phase right now. Didn't expect that at all.
Finally, the reset coming in for BUF, a proper defense. Now they might be able to put up, but I say that one pump is very close on this far left side, so and Ajax is working the other side as well. But again, another split push coming in for one pump. And Sheena is going to be the first person to make it into the trench. Gonna find Nord though. Nord gets the kill. Gonna look to get the second. He does get the second on the Frosty. But Nord defending the side very well. Flank coming in by Revenant to get the stab. Good kill by him. This push on this one side is not completely neutralized, but Nord doing a very good job of defending it here.
Getting most of the kills on the right-hand side, the very important kills as well. But he needs to stay right here because there's one squad mate of the Antari right still there, spawning in their teammates. So this could be a potential very aggressive push by one pump on the right side. I hope Nord is in time in spotting that, as both of his squad mates are watching the wrong side in the far left aggression.
And now all of BUF is kind of stuck in this one side. One pump controls pretty much the rest of the trench. And Frosty, interestingly, he's here by himself. He's beside almost like the entire BUF team. But a nice jump shot there by Rasputin to take him down.
As one pump is slowly recapping this trench right now. And again, if they take this trench in the last minute of this attack phase, I feel like a nice airplane bomb by Rasputin on 2 players of the one pump. This might actually be the key factor of one pump not taking this trench.
The airplane bomb was very nice, but a great push there by Emperor and Mando to just get all those kills, and that's going to ensure the cap. So another cap coming in for one pump. That's going to ensure that they do win this half. But now, still, for BUF, still going to want to get that cap in to ensure you're only down by 1. And being down by 1 and being on the Entente side of Ain with the opening attack, that's not a terrible position to be in. So if they can find another cap, which, I mean, they have been very successful in finding recaps on this trench, it's not a terrible position for them to be in going in to second half.
Well, BUF is taking this trench right now, as they had a few very good kills on Emperor and Tom Grump right there.
Nor's going to push into the middle, leading this charge here. He's going to find 2 nice kills, one on the Lookhouse, one on the Emperor. So the cap's going to speed up. Tom trying to do what he can from the outside, but it's not going to be a whole lot. Sheena and some other players trying to slow down the cap, get some kills. If the spawns come in for BUF, which they should, this is definitely going to be a cap. So another retake for BUF. Extremely high scoring game right now.
Very nice to see.
The only question is, will this be a 2 trench victory for a one pump, or can BUF keep this to 1 trench?
And one pump has all the time to retake this trench. 3 minutes left, and that's basically the whole match still left in order to retake this trench for the 8th time. Well, 8 points at least. Ridiculous stuff. So many. I think this is a high score in numbers of trench captures. Actually,
I mean, this is an extremely high scoring game. I think this is the highest scoring game we've seen. I mean, we saw a game yesterday on AIM between Dip and
one pump actually killing a lot of people, taking this trench really quickly right now, and luckily
the spawns did come in for BUF. They just come in the nick of time, so all of BUF now in the trench.
Very important kills. Very important kills by Nord in the middle here. On all the people that were aggressing to the middle side, Emperor and Tom Grump. And more kills are coming in favor of BUF right now. So they are securing this trench right now. And the momentum that one pump had in this attack phase is all gone right now.
And now all of a nice airplane bomb kill there by Tom. The other thing that's worth considering is the more time that burn goes down on the clock, one hand it's good for BUF, on the other hand it's bad, because if a cap comes in for one pump, they might not have enough time to get a recap. So this is kind of a win-lose situation right now for BUF, and I do think the cap, well, the spawn's still coming in for BUF. Looks like one pump's trying to send some players through the no man's land to maybe flank them. Had a little bit of success, not enough. Emperor still occupying his own position, gets the kill on the Nord, and that's going to be the cap. So now a minute and a half left. We know that's more than enough time for BUF to get the recap, but if one pump plays passively, maybe just holds their positions, this could be enough.
They need to watch out for Emperor in that mid position, as he done so much damage for that same position constantly.
Emperor at that mid position has been extremely powerful, so he continues to play it.
He's going there again, and actually a lot of people are lining up for him again.
4 kills. Tom with a really nice flank. He got taken down, but he did enough damage and Emperor with 2 of his own.
Emperor killing 4, I believe, in this trench right now,
There's
with, again
only
from
one.
the same position.
Yeah, the spawns do come in for Buff, but still.
I think it's too little too late. Actually, both Emperor and well, I feel like his whole team are pushing this this section, and everyone is clumped up right now.
Tom going for the flank from the No Man's Land once again. He's going to move in here, and more players coming in.
Very good aggression by Emperor and Tom Grump. They're sneaking up from both sides of that flank and clearing everyone out of the trench. And I feel like that is actually the game for Buff. I feel like they're going to lose with two
those last kills by Ajax should cement this. That's going to do it. Buff is going to drop this one by 2 trenches, so tough situation for them to be in, going down by 2 in the second half. But really good pushes at the end there by 1Pump. Her and Tom specifically.
Well, seriously, the duo tactics by Tom Grump right there and Emperor just flanking in both different directions, killing everyone in that flank. That was the very good positional play by 1Pump, securing this round by a 2 trench lead. This is going to be very difficult for Buff to come back from, isn't it?
Yeah, Nord was the top frag for Buff, 50 kills, solid game from him, but well, we have 2 70-kill players on 1Pump, Emperor and Tom, so yep. And really, again, worth noting that everyone else on 1Pump not having terrible games themselves. I mean, Mondo, Mando, Luke House, Ajax, even Frosty, all kind of stepping up.
Nobody is actually falling very hard. Falling off really badly. But I feel like the positional play by 1Pump was just so much better than what we saw yesterday, that they were, well, able to secure the trenches on key moments in this match. And well, you can see that actually on the amount of points being scored on this match. I mean, 8-6 it was in the end. That's ridiculous. I've never seen that on AIM. On not even on Voice, maybe on Artois. That's the only time on a tournament I've seen that. But on AIM, that's a first, and it is a testament to how close these teams actually were. I feel like Buff lost it because they weren't warmed up at the beginning of this match. Do you feel the same?
Yeah, I think Buff did improve their play as the game went on. I mean, initially it looked like just a complete roll for 1Pump. So Buff definitely stabilized. But yeah, still that kind of the power that we saw Emperor and Tom in the No Man's Land, Emperor in that middle position, that was, Buff didn't really have an answer to that.
Still, this actually the same thing as that was portraying in the PDB match, right? The individual performance of the 1Pump players actually making their impact, and basically the team play of Tom Grump and Emperor securing the trenches numerous times. Emperor on that mid section, getting multiple times a quadruple kill. Tom Grump from the No Man's Land flanking around. It's nice to see how they changed, well, very fundamental things, but still small changes in their gameplay, and with those changes actually feeling so much stronger in their positional play and their team play. Actually, it's nice to see how you can improve by playing a few matches together with the same team. We are waiting for Bacardi to load. I hope my game is not crashing. Are you loading in, Zap?
I'm in the game right now.
All right.
It hasn't gone live yet. It seems like 1Pump had a crash, so we're just waiting for that player to return.
I crashed as well, so give me a few seconds. I'm just going to stream my blank screen. Do you think Buff has what it takes to get a 2-0 victory, 2 trenches ahead on 1Pump here?
Well, I think that Buff, with the veteran players that they have, certainly has it in them to do it. But I think it's a question of, can Buff overcome a team that's now firing in all cylinders, and now, again, and we talked about it yesterday, the talent of this one pump team really starting to come through. And again, even some of the lesser known players like Lukaus in Mando, they are starting to have they've been having great games today. And even some of the lesser experienced players like Frosty and Sheena are doing noticeably better today. Maybe that's just a matter of the team play improving, or again, maybe they're just more comfortable. Hard to say, but still, whatever one pump has changed, whatever they said to themselves before this day started, it is working. That's for sure.
Oh, it's nice to see that there's actually people flying here.
Flying. The man is flying.
Let's see that up close. This is interesting. Let's greet him a little bit.
New tactics. So I see what changed for one pump. They now have flying players.
Okay, this is what they mean by 2 pumps, I guess. 1 pump gets you on the ground, 2 pumps get you high up in the air. This is ridiculous.
So the more matches they win, the higher they go.
Well, they're on 2.5 pumps right now, right? No,
that's exactly. Yeah, they have to be on 2.5 by now. I don't know why they haven't changed the name to 2.5 pump. That's embarrassing.
Shout out to Sheena right there.
Yeah.
But that was actually ridiculous. I thought there were no bugs in Verdun.
No, there are no bugs. You are delusional.
I am extremely sorry that I'm even hinting that such a thing could even be true.
The mere suggestion is outrageous.
I'm extremely sorry. I'll formally apologize in threefold, sending it to the M2H headquarters. Praise M2H, guys. To you personally, and I'm also going to send an excuse letter to my mother, and I hope I'll be forgiven after that one.
Hopefully you're forgiven.
All right. We are waiting in the warm-up, right? As the last player of one pump, we're waiting on the last player of one pump, as they probably had a crash, just like that. I personally think it's actually very cool to see that even the newer players like Sir Pools, well, I'm not sure how new he is, but that everyone of BUF was actually participating a lot in the kills. Everyone was really equal, except maybe 1 or 2 had negative kill death ratios, but everyone was contributing. So that's really nice to see that BUF is really evenly balanced, and I feel like one pump is really still leaning a little bit on Tom Grump and Emperor, getting in the positions they need to get those high kill rewards, with their high accuracy. But I think it actually it takes skill and team play in order to get Tom Grump and Emperor in those positions in order to get those high kill counts. I really feel like that they just decided that they need to play that aggressively, and they just stated what positions they want to be in, and the rest of the team is facilitating those positions and well, being a little bit of a distraction for BUF, so that, well, Tom Grump and Emperor can just strike from positions they don't even think of at that moment. Interesting to see. I hope BUF is going to be able to turn things around right now. They do have the momentum. They're going to be the first one to attack as they are in Saudi. And for the sake of this match, I hope they instantly take the trench and make this a game in the first few minutes. They're going to need every second in order to gain 2 or more trenches on one pump. One pump looking very, very powerful. And well, BUF with a 2 trench deficit. They need to capture at least 2 to make it an equal count, and then it's going to get down to kills. So I feel like they need to capture 3 trenches. They can't leave it to chance at all. So pressure is on them to not only equalize this, but capture 3 trenches and win this match. For me personally, it's also very interesting to see that in this trench, it always ends up in a very definitive split towards the left, shooting on the right, and the right shooting on the left for the two teams. I believe this is actually the only trench in which that always happens, that you have a definitive split by the road here, and just a left versus right approach, giving a lot of room for no man's land pushes and things like that. I can't think of any other trench that does that, actually. It's interesting.
And I've also just been informed that the player for One Pump is joining back, so shouldn't be much longer.
All right.
Always fun dealing with Verdun's non-existent problems. The audience
Cool.
has no issues.
Praise M2H. We did lose a buff player as well. Is there any news on the buff players? Yeah, I had some problems myself relogging into this match, Zap, so might be the server as well. Well, Mumble Leader is back. That's nice. We're waiting for the last player to rejoin, and then we'll see a very quick restart. After which, this match, this half, is going to be live.
Okay, so BUF is making a substitution. Their player should be here in a minute.
Perfect.
And then we can finally start.
It's no problem. I'm practicing my spectating bird eye view movement things. Don't get me wrong, guys. This is actually harder than it looks sometimes. Because this is an ultra sensitive camera. If I move my mouse 2 centimeters, it's all over the place. So.
The camera is, having used it before, it's not fun.
It's interesting. It's you'll get used to it.
But it's hard. It can be a challenge. Finally, all 8 players in the server again. We can get underway.
The last thing I want to say about that is the biggest challenge is when you get back into normal playing Verdun. Your whole mouse movement is just out of order. It's a really weird feeling transitioning back to the actual gameplay. But, Zap, please start the second half of this match.
And here we go, getting underway for the second half of BUF versus One Pump. One Pump with a true trench lead. Going to be starting with defense on the CP side, BUF on the attack on the Entente side. We'll see what they do here.
God damn it. My game crashes after the restart.
No, clearly it's your PC, not the game, so...
I'll buy a new computer after this...
Okay, I'll just radio cast.
Cool.
Here we do see BUF pretty much committing all of their players to one side, the far right side. They have opted to send nobody to middle. They are just going for a complete push, and they're moving very quickly, already almost in the trench. Dope with a very nice kill on the Ajax, who was defending the section. And again, BUF just relentlessly pushing. One pump answering back with a bunch of kills, but BUF is already in the trench, so a very quick push from BUF to get in. They didn't rotate any players to the other side. They just sent everybody up the far right side, and they've already gained entry. I don't think One Pump was expecting them to do that. They didn't seem to have an answer.
Good stuff by BUF. They just needed to do just that in order to get as quickly as they can this trench they are currently holding on the right-hand side.
And this is definitely what you want if you're BUF. You want to have a fast start in this game. You're down by 2 trenches. You want to take the momentum early.
preferably taking their whole HQ. You don't want to stop. You don't want to stop.
We do see Mando going for the flank of the no man's land. Don't think BUF is aware. Mando's actually going to hold for spawns too. He wants to push with the rest of his team, or some of his teammates here. He's going to spawn them in. And now here comes a possible flank.
I don't believe BUF is expecting this, and actually they get all taken down
Mando
really quickly.
Kills. Really great play there. That was an excellent play from Mando. Really smart. He waited for his squad and then he pushed. BUF was not expecting the flank at all. And not only was it maybe one player that could have dealt with it, but 4 players, no, they have no answer for that. Really good play by Mando there to wait for his team. Just like that, BUF is pretty much reset. They've got some players close mid, but that was a
tremendous
really intelligent play.
Very well done by Mando, holding there actually and spawning in his people. And you saw that 5 kills instantly went in the way of Tupom there. Completely surprised BUF right there. Very good play. And Tupom is instantly just spreading around a little bit, trying to spot where they're coming from.
We have one player on this far left side for BUF. Nord is pushing up. I don't know if I don't think One Pump's aware of Nord's position here. He's holding very close. Maybe gonna wait for some spawns. Now, okay, he does wait for the spawns. Now he makes his push with one other player.
Jumpgrum doesn't see him though, and he gets taken out by Frosty right there.
Or trying to find the openings. Can't hit the shots and gets taken out by Emperor though. Still least spawn a squad, so it's not completely done, but yeah, missing those shots. Bit of a blunder there from Nord.
Jumpgrum with a huge jump shot right there, and actually ultra aggressive. This is ridiculous. This is a Jumpgrum we want to see. He wants blood. He sees blood, and he gets a quick 3 kill on.
But it is worth noting, Rasputin. He's in the trench. He's the foothold, and no one knows Rasputin is there. There's a player right in front of Rasputin, and I got to give credit to Rasputin. This is a smart play. He's not shooting him. He knows that he doesn't want to give away his position. He just wants to remain silent here, so that One Pump's not aware. He doesn't shoot him. Again, holding his trigger, holding his nerve.
Oh, this is very
finally lets it go, but I don't think he had a choice, and Tom does take him down.
And Revenant actually, but they did secure the whole right side right now, right? Where's Revenant? Oh, dead. Is BUF actually able to run into the left side for the Antali? Apparently not, no, because One Pump is actually already on the attack, successfully defending their trench, and now it's their turn in order to attack the Antali side of things. Jumpgrum with a very important kill on the right hand side, and everything is going in favor of Tupom right now, and firmly securing the right hand side right now. This is dangerous for BUF.
Good flank from Rasputin, but he is the only player in the trench. He'll get the spawns, but
momentum is in favor of One Pump, and they are quickly taking this trench already.
BUF is going to be able to stop the capper. They should be able to, but they have. Well, they're now completely isolated to one side. They had one player in the other no man's, but he gets taken down. So now both teams kind of split evenly between the trenches. But again, in the situation being down 2 trenches, 5 minutes into the game, now that One Pump's attacking, that's definitely good for them.
Nice airplane bomb kill by Jumpgrum there on himself.
On himself, so again, new tactics. Said new day for One Pump, new approach to the game. Killing themselves. Mando showing us how it's done here. Bomb's battleship there.
Everyone of One Pump is actually in the trench right now, capping really quickly.
Yeah, a lot of kills there for One Pump. Just like that, quick succession, the airplane bomb came in, but the cap does come in for BUF. They're trying to slow it down. They couldn't quite stop it. They're very close there. Nord in the middle, gonna try to find some kills. But Mando and Ajax, their sights train on that position. They take both the players down there for BUF.
And there's only one person in here in the trench, spawning his teammates though.
He will spawn his squad, but unfortunately for them, their other squad is in the no man's. But this isn't necessarily a terrible thing. If they can maybe execute an effective push for the no man's, you see a bunch of kills going the way of BUF on the trench. If the no man's push can be effective, this could be a very good position. Mondo leader, he's kind of alone right now. He's missing his shots. Not able to take anyone down. He gets taken down by Dope. So now a bit of a dangerous position for BUF, as One Pump is very exposed on that right side. They don't have anybody there.
Many actually needs to stop his reload in order to not fall to Emperor, but Tom Grump still is able to capture him, and I feel like
Tom Grump with some important kills there to at least ensure that they occupy that side of the trench. Sheena trying to push in with some teammates. Sheena is saying now, but Mano does answer back on the JS-1031. Now Dope is in a position to get flanked. More spawns coming in for Buff in the No Man's Land on this right side.
They might be. They're looking to overwhelm the left-hand side here.
Nothing Mono's going to be able to do. He gets taken down by stab from Nord. Tom Grump pushing through the middle, getting closer to this position. He's going to want to make a play here. Spots a player of the hay bale, takes him down. Not able to land the second shot. Finally lands it. Now faces player on the rock. And he does take him down. Good kills there by Tom, but I don't know if it was enough because, again, there's so many Buff players in the trench right now, and no one in the trench really for one pump besides Tom, so...
Very aggressive push by Tom there, trying to no-scope and stab the next one, but he gets taken down by Rasputin nicely. Rasputin actually getting a
very important recap, and it is worth note, we should probably look at the scoreboard here. Nord on 22 kills, really leading the way right now for Buff. You know, double the next closest player on the scene, which is Rasputin at 11. He's at Nord actually out-fragging both Tom and Emperor right now, so Nord having an excellent game. The captain stepping up, trying to do what he can to keep his team in this. I mean, this is also worth... I mean, again, Buff did lose both of its games yesterday, so if they drop this one, they will be 0-3, so the tournament life possibly on the line. They don't want to lose this game. I mean, they at least want the tie to get something.
That must be doing something to their mental state as well, isn't it? Losing 2 games and facing to lose the third as well. I hope... I am having high hopes for them, but they can still turn this around in order to tie it out, but it's going to be... They need to be stepping up. The whole team needs to step up, not only Nord. Nord is having a game, as everyone should be having at Buff right now.
Nord's really trying to fire up his team, but his team not really... just not able to do enough here. Again, only one other player on double digits right now for Buff. Every other player is still stuck on single-digit kills. We see the kill distribution on one pumps a lot more even. It isn't just Tom and Emperor, it's everyone.
It does look like Buff is actually having more people in the trench right now, capping this trench really quickly. So this might already be the recap we're looking for. It is stabilizing right now as Tom Grump is spawning in all of his teammates right now. So the next couple of kills are going to be very important to see if Buff can take this recap or not. But the first 2 kills are going in favor of one pump right now, and only 1 kill for Buff right now. And that makes it so that the majority of one pump is already in this trench, retaking this trench a little bit as more. So it looks like they're successfully defending it.
Yeah, dead heat right now between one pump and the Buff. A lot of kills going the way of one pump that we can see. That kill feed is all one pump. Really, players left in the trench right now for Buff. I think there's only 1 player left right now for Buff.
Tom Grump with an aggressive push, he sees him, and he knows where... I believe he saw him.
A nice kill there by Tom on the JS-1031. That's going to deny the spawn, and again, it's also, we look at the distribution of the one pump players. Buff is trying to push the other side, but one pump is ready for it. They've got most of their players on the side of the trench to deal with the push coming in, so it's a nice call there by one pump to distribute most of the players there, not over-rotate.
Tom Grump looking for more kills as he is in the middle section, instantly going to where the action is. Spotting everyone on the no man's land right there. That's a huge big information. The whole team of one pump is looking at the hay bales right now, and all the kills are actually going still in favor of Buff. That's huge. I believe that's Buff now firmly secured into the trench, getting a few very important jewels right here, and gaining a foothold in the far left side. They only have 40 seconds in order to take this trench though, and every second counts for them right now. They need to take, from this point forward, they need to take 4 trenches in order to win, as they are not going to win on a kill deficit. So they have a huge task for them ahead, but I'm feeling like Bomb Pump already did enough in the previous half to secure this victory in this match.
There's only 14 minutes on the clock, and well, this is going to be the successful defense for one pump. That's probably, I think that's going to be the final nail in the coffin for BUF, but
Mando actually deserting before the timer runs out, trying to get as much momentum as he can. But this successful defense by 2Pump is actually the final nail in the coffin for BUF.
There's no way that BUF can come back. They're gonna at best have 10 minutes left, and with 10 minutes, it's simply, well, an impossibility for them to tie the game. But I mean, at the very least, they can try to play for the score and keep it as close as they can. They still have one more match left, and it is not, they're not out of the tournament even if they lose this game, but definitely their position is very dire. They will need to win the next game they play against Dip to survive. And now 1Pump looking to expand the score as much as they can. They're out for blood. They're already in the far right side. Mondo pushing towards middle.
BUF needs to be
but
careful.
His teammates are with him. Shutting down this push rather effectively so far, but trades do come in. They might have done enough damage. Battleship gets the kill on the Frosty. He's going to try to defend this middle position. Not able to land the shots. Does land one, but quickly traded out by Emperor.
Emperor actually playing from the mid side on the hill, and very very powerful position as we know. And he's wreaking havoc from that hillside. There's still Nord in the far right, but he gets taken out by Monoliter. But his squad mates are actually able to push up from the right, to the left. Sorry. But so many kills are going in favor of the 1Pump right now. It's hard to keep up with the spectator mode. A huge airplane bomber was put in though. This might turn the tables if they have any people close. But I feel like that airplane bomb was huge, but too many people are too far away to take advantage of that triple kill. And I feel like BUF is looking to, well, save a little bit of face, not losing another trench and having to defend their HQ. And I think defending the next trench is actually extremely hard, so they must be very careful not losing this trench completely. As 1Pump did just take this trench.
And again, very good stuff from 1Pump. And again, we just looked at the score for BUF. We can see Nord's on 35 kills. He's right there with Emperor, pretty close to Tom as well, but fortunately for him, the rest of his team not really able to get the job done.
Nord did get a very quick triple kill right there, though.
Again, he's just everywhere you go. You see Nord getting the kills, leading the way, but yeah, it's just not enough. He himself is not enough to carry this team alone.
I feel like the rest of BUF is a little bit de-energized. They are lurking a little bit from behind and making very aggressive pushes that they shouldn't do. They're falling apart a little bit. I feel like they're giving up already. And I think they need to re-energize and save face, not losing this trench as well. Because if you can't retake this one in a minute and a half, you have to defend the most dreadful of trenches, I feel like. And from that point, you'll almost certain to lose your HQ. So it's paramount that they defend this one or retake it. Otherwise, it's going to be a very demoralizing blow to their, well, very demoralizing blow if they lose their HQ on top of this all.
And only a minute left on this attack for BUF, and so far 1Pump has a very solid defense. Again, Emperor and Tom encroaching on that 50 kill mark. Mando also having another solid game at almost 30 kills for him. And Mondo and Lukehouse playing pretty well. And I keep saying it, but I'm also impressed by Frosty and Sheena. You know, they're newer players, but they're not doing too bad. They're definitely, again, noticeably better than they were yesterday.
They're holding up their own in a comp match, and that says a lot about your skill. I feel like they're playing against one of the better players of Verdun right now. So getting almost equal kill death ratios is actually quite nice.
Nice jump shot there by Tom on the dope, and with only 25 seconds on the clock, I don't think there's one last push here for BUF. but I don't think there's any way for them to get in. They might even just play for the defense of their final trench here in this game. This is definitely, I will say, this is definitely the most lopsided game that I have seen so far, at least we personally watched.
Especially this half.
Quite close. Yeah, the first half was very competitive between these two teams, but this half, One Pump is really taken off. They are completely in the driver's seat. But of course, it is worth mentioning that for BUF. I mean, they've already lost this game, so they don't really have much of a reason to play, nothing to play for anymore.
True. I do think that if you are North right now, and if you're able to re-energize your team at this moment, you'll be able to do it at any time. But it does feel like the positive spirit is out of their team play. I don't think they're communicating a lot anymore. I don't think they care much, but I would forbid them to take my HQ on this map. But it looks like One Pump is overrunning them again, and this is a very, very dangerous trench to lose, as, well, BUF is looking to defend their HQ right now. Very dangerous stuff.
Very quick cap coming in from One Pump, just really wiped the BUF team in like 20 seconds, and there you go. So now 4-1 for One Pump. They're looking to close out this game with a perfect score, essentially.
In the beginning, it did look like BUF was going to hold up their own, but after they lost their initial attack, momentum completely shifted to One Pump here, and they didn't stop. Jumpgrump and Emperor just smelling the blood, wanting to take this HQ, which would be a huge morale boost for them, as they are stepping up, giving the performance that we expected of them. At all matches, actually. Jumpgrump nearing the 60 kill mark. Emperor on the 52. A lot of 30s right there. And most of the players of BUF are on 20 or lower. Only North having a 45 kill game. That's harsh. That's harsh. There's only so much North can do in this position. As he is looking to get a few more kills on the left-hand side.
I mean, regardless of the score, I mean, props have to go to Nord for dropping almost 50 kills in a game where his team is getting absolutely decimated by One Pump. Really, no matter how we view it, the story for today is a team that looked pretty dreadful yesterday, honestly. Almost borderline an embarrassing performance. Obviously, completely turning things around today, and really just everyone coming together on One Pump to make this possible.
But I must say that I'm looking at Jumpgrump's shoulder right now, and the shots he is hitting in quick successions are ridiculous. He is on point. He is in there. He is dialed in, shooting every shot he shoots. He hits, and good stuff by Jumpgrump and Emperor right there. I feel like they're defending this trench on their own. The confidence they are exhuming almost. Standing on top of the trench, not giving a damn, and just dancing around on top of the trench, getting all kills and hitting and not dying. That must feel powerful and enervating.
Yeah, I mean, if there's one thing that's for certain, when you drop your first two matches in the tournament and then on the second day win back-to-back matches, that's probably going to give you a lot of confidence going in the next weekend into the playoffs, which at this point, One Pump will for certain to go into, as they've won back-to-back matches, and they're going to defeat BUF here.
It's completely silent. No shots actually coming, but they are actually BUF is actually grouping up on the far right-hand side for the Cerntor powers through the cornfield in order to retake this trench in the last-ditch effort.
They committed to a nice push. Most of the players got taken down, but JS1031 did survive, or Revenant, sorry, and well,
nice best from on the leader.
Trade bash there between the two players.
Okay.
Know if that was the last player. Looks like it was, so I think that should do it. Nord and another player are going to try to advance, but it's not going to be enough time. So One Pump going to win out on this half. Clean victory for them. Tom with 70 kills, Emperor with 60, Nord at 49. He played an excellent game, but not enough, unfortunately, for his team. So BUF will go to 0-3 in 2 Pump. They now return to 500, as they're now 2-2 in this tournament, winning back-to-back matches today. Great stuff from them.